Hey guys, it's Coach Gaglione here. This is another edition of our Gag Goals Updates. This is my Road to 198 series. If this is your first time stopping by, I'm Coach Gaglione. This is Gaglione Strength. I've been involved with strength coaching and powerlifting for over 13 years. This is chronicling my weight loss journey. Very exciting news today, and if you guys have been following along, I've been as heavy as 340 pounds. Today was a big milestone for me because I had my lightest morning weigh-in, probably since about 2006, 2007. So a very long time, so over 10 years. So weighed in at 222 today on the in-body scale, my official weigh-in. That's the lightest I've been in the morning so far. So this is my first sub 225 weigh-in. So I'm very excited about that because I've been kind of stuck in at a 230, 235 mark for quite some time. So pretty pumped to be down nearly down over 120 pounds all the time. So I'm very, very excited about that. And honestly, my lifting is going pretty darn well. So if you've been following along the series, I'm kind of what I would consider myself an equipped lifter. I like to compete in equipped powerlifting, and for those that are unfamiliar with equipped powerlifting, it's just a division where it allows for more supportive gear. So if you've ever seen people with like knee wraps and things like that, it's kind of a step up from that. We're going to be wearing briefs and squat suits, which can provide compression for the hips and allow you to potentially lift a little bit more weight because the suit's going to kind of help spring you out of the bottom, but it's a more technical lift. So it's a lot of fun, and one of the reasons why I've been continuing to be kind of drawn to equipped lifting, also because I was kind of brought up in that era when it was very popular. I enjoy the technical challenge, and it helps kind of keep the joints supported while still allowing you to lift some heavy weights. And it's, even though I don't really advocate like trying to compete in a calorie deficit, it's allowing me to kind of scratch that competitive itch while focusing on my main goal, which is to be leaner, healthier, and just kind of get my body fat down overall. So I'm very, very close to my ultimate goal of making the 198 class. I'd like to lose another 6 to 7 pounds, so that way I can have a little bit more of a manageable weight cut. If I had to cut weight starting today, it would be about 24 pounds, which would be doable, but I would like to get sub 220 in the morning on a consistent basis, and that'll make the weight cut that much easier. So very, very excited. And if you watched our video from last week, I kind of mentioned deadlifts went very well. I did a little bit of a costume change. I've been working in the Answer Leviathan Ultra Pro, which is an adjustable squat suit. And I think it's a really great squat suit, but I just know for me personally, I'm not as talented as like a Brian Carroll or some of these other guys that can really make these fine-tuned adjustments. And I don't always have the same people helping me every single session. And there's a little bit of a learning curve to adjusting the strings to where you want them. And my weight is changing every week, so it's just a little bit it's hard to be consistent. So even though one of the benefits of that suit, it's also kind of a curse. Which one of the downside is that it is so adjustable, but you have to be that much more precise in order to get repeatable results in the suit. So it's not to say I won't ever use that suit moving forward, but just for the time being, I elected to go back to the old school canvas, aka the power diaper. And it went really, really, really well. If you watched last week's video, I did a 595 deadlift, which went really smooth. And then I did a 645 reverse band, monster mini band deadlift, and a 675 deadlift. So all those were PRs at this body weight. I never pulled 600 pounds sub 230 before, so that was really cool. I was excited about that. And I also hit a PR this year, 525 conventional raw, so that was great. So my back strength is holding up. So on to this week. So this week was my last quote-unquote subtotal Sunday. I've been experimenting with higher frequency for benching, and I've also been experimenting with squatting and benching heavy on the same day. And I think that's worked well to a point. This was the first week where my bench took a step back, so my squat was still improved. My bench took a step back. This could be for a number of reasons. I'll kind of reflect on what I think may have went wrong or just how the day went. But we'll start off with the good, right? We'll start off on a good note. Squats went really well. It was a very busy session today, so I kind of might have rushed my warm-ups a little bit, and I kind of skipped around sets, but I took my last warm-up weight in the canvas suit. It went amazing. I got great depth with it. I smashed 700. It moved like a warm-up. It felt like a warm-up. It was great. So normally I would take about somewhere between 740 and 750 next, which would be around my projected opener. I probably will open with somewhere between 735 and 750. The 735 will get me on the record board at Gaglione Strength, so I might just open with something a little bit lighter and just smash it and make a bigger jump to 800 on my second. But neither here nor there. I just kind of skipped that set and I went right to 790. And I jumped Nick's call a little bit, but still a good depth. It's probably the fastest I've moved around 800 pounds in a long time, and obviously for me to hit an 800-pound squat, sub 225, is pretty amazing. So I hit 790 pretty handily. That was my first, my kind of, that's going to be around the projected second attempt for me. And I was just really happy with how that moved. It moved great. So I elected to go, I made a 50-pound jump. I went up to 840, which would be around the projected third attempt. I'd like to hit something over 800 pounds on my third attempt. But obviously I really want to hit that 4 times body weight squat. So 800 and 198 is the main goal. But as things are going, I do think I will be able to squat somewhere between 830 and 855. So I elected to go 840 with the Monster Mini Band, and I thought my depth was great, positioning was great. It was one of my best squats I've had in a long time. So it was challenging, but it felt really comfortable, and I felt like my form was spot on. So at this point, I kind of did a little bit of a YOLO lift. I did that 400 kilo number. I did 880. I did this number last cycle, but much later in the cycle. This was actually when Szat Strength, Joey from the Lion's Den came down. I apologize if I said his gym name wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's his gym. So he's a great dude. He's a really strong guy. It kind of annoys me that he's getting bigger and I'm getting smaller, and he's getting really strong. But it was really cool to have Joey come down and train with us. I believe he worked up to like a something in the mid 600s box squat. So we taught him how to box squat, which was really cool. And it was just awesome having him here. So I hit 880 at that point, but I was about probably a good 25 to 30 pounds heavier, and I didn't quite hit the same. That was definitely high. I felt like my depth was a lot better with the 880 this time around, and again, that was my last heavy workout, so I was really peaked for that particular workout, and I'm still like kind of in the middle of my training cycle. So for me to hit 880 sub 225, it's pretty amazing. So I felt like I was going to miss. I blacked out about 3/4 of the way up. You'll kind of see the bar stop, and I almost started to shake my head. But I was able to power through it, and it was really cool. It was nice for me I haven't really struggled with the squat in a while, so it was nice for me to grind through that, so I was really proud of myself. And it just felt good to handle that kind of weight. That's going to, again, be a little bit of an overload, but the fact that I'm feeling 880 in my back, it's going to make 800 feel that much lighter when it comes to the meet. So very, very excited. That was with a reverse light band. And truth be told, when you're squatting 800-900 pounds, the light band does provide a good amount of assistance, but when you have that much weight on there, it's really not that much. So really, I was really pumped about that. I was pretty excited, even though it took my soul, and I think it's just returning back to my body now. So that was cool. After that, I did some benching in that Ray Jack shirt. So although the weight loss has been going great, I definitely feel it on the bench. It's starting to really affect my leverages in the bench. Benching was a little bit challenging on those days, so combined with having a very tough grinder, that definitely took a lot out of my spine, my nervous system, and being lighter, I think those were two kind of factors in my bench not going as well. And I think that I guess rode out this frequency thing for as long as I could, and now I'm gonna have to drop the frequency and start to get. So this was like the first week I had a dip in my bench performance. I've been kind of pretty handily like benching like 450, 455 to a half board, just for whatever reason. Even like the week prior, benching 395 and 365 for reps in the bench free gram was pretty easy, and 365 was very challenging this week. So I even knew, just before I even got on my shirt, I just knew something was kind of off. But again, it was probably that I had 880 on my back. So obviously I got to take that into consideration. But that's also one of the reasons why I'm getting in my bench shirt, and I was practicing benching after squatting, because after squatting 800 or 900 pounds, that's going to take a lot out of you. So I wanted to kind of practice that a little bit, because my bench performance has not been great relative to my training. Even though I did hurt my shoulder last meet, regardless of that, I just haven't been as consistent with my bench. So I'm just trying to do some different things so I can correct that problem. So anyways, I ended up doing a 415 to a 1 board, and that moved pretty good. Like, it moved better on the video, but it just felt like my nervous system was still not recovered. People were starting to leave, so I was kind of rushing my warm-ups a little bit, and I probably could have rested a little bit longer. So I ended up doing 2 singles at 440 to a 1 board. I was supposed to do like 455 to 465 to a half board, and it just wasn't in the cards that day. So this was kind of like a do as I say, not as I do moment. I was kind of second guessing myself, and I was thinking, is it maybe it's the shirt, maybe I just got to try something. So I ended up doing some work in a different shirt, the shirt I used last meet, and it was just way loose on me. But I ended up getting, I believe I did 365, I believe to a 1 board and 405 to a half board, and it came right down. I wasn't really getting much help or stopping power, but I was able to hit 2 good singles with 365 and 405 with the loose shirt. I ended up putting the Rage X back on Tuesday, so I already was in my shirt Sunday. So I don't really advocate getting back into your equipment that early, but mentally I just needed to kind of make sure that I wasn't kind of going crazy. So I ended up actually missing 425. I was kind of waiting for Elvis to give me a start command, and it just didn't happen. And then by the time I got the weight down, I just was too tired, and I had them take it. And then I did 435, which is a little bit cleaner, but still a tough single. I did 435 with a reverse micro mini after that. I did my workout with Mel on this day. It was a good workout. So I just kind of realized I'm probably going to need a tighter shirt because I have something to lose. So I ordered 2 more shirts from like the Gear Swap page on Facebook. If you're an equipped lifter, it's a good resource. If you search like Gear Swap page on Facebook, it's a good resource if you're looking for some used equipment. So I'm going to try some different things, and I may need just lower my expectations for bench, but my squat and deadlift training has been going superb. So all in all, I can't really complain too much. So that's kind of where my bench is at. So, and then afterwards, I did some slingshot work. I did a couple sets at 315 with the Mad Dog slingshot just to get a little extra volume in. I've been continuing to do the seal rows. I've been progressing that. That's been good. I think I worked up to 205 for my top set on the seal rows. And then I did some spoto pressing just with a lightweight with like 185 just to get a little extra raw work in. So that's for the bench. So some changes for the programming. The frequency is going to drop. I'm only going to be squatting separately from benching moving forward. It's going to allow me to increase the intensity and increase my recovery time, and then hopefully my performance is going to be better. And I'm just got to play with. I still got to figure out which bench shirt I'm going to wear. I may end up opening in a looser shirt and then making a jump and then adding a tighter shirt. So there's going to be a little bit. The bench is still a little bit of a question mark, but I'm on pace to have a really big total and don't want to just hit a token bench again like my last meet. My last meet I could have had a much better total if my bench was like halfway decent. So I'd like my bench to be somewhere between 450 and 500, and in order for that to happen, I need to kind of step up my bench training and be more consistent. So on the deadlifts, I was very, very tired. I'm just starting to kind of feel a little bit normal now. So this was more of like a speed deadlift workout, and then I also had some new clients coming in. Benny is away the next couple of days, so this was like a 40-minute workout. This was very quick, so I kind of rushed through my stuff. But anyways, I did some dynamic deadlifts with a strong band, which is the green band, with the jump stretch green band. It's a pretty good amount of tension on there. So I did 6 sets of 2 reps with 315. I did what we call the switch hitters. So every other set I did both sumo and conventional deadlifts. As I mentioned, this is like the last week in this phase. So again, one of my goals this phase was to build my back strength. That's why I'm still doing a lot of conventional work. And then moving into the next phase, I'm going to start to do more specific stuff. So I'm going to do more wide stance box squats in my flats. I'm not going to use heeled shoes for squats anymore. So my belt squats will be done wider, and in the flat shoes, I'll be doing more sumo variations. I'm going to do sumo block pulls to work my hips. And again, a lot more tricep work. And we're also going to implement a lot more bands this phase. So we're going to, instead of using a lot of chain weight, we're going to start to use more band tension. It's going to be more aggressive. So on the speed work, it's going to be more explosive. So we're going to work on more specific variations with our supplemental lifts, and we're going to start to add in more band tension on dynamic days and days with accommodating resistance. So that's going to be some of the major changes to the programming in the next phase. So again, I mentioned I did 315 every other set. I did sumo and then conventional the next set, 6 sets of 2. Pretty minimal rest here. Might have only rested like 30 seconds to a minute in between. After that, I did a couple of singles. Did a single at 345. Then I did a single conventional at 345. And then I did a single sumo at 375 and then a single conventional at 395. After that, I did 1 set of 8 conventional deficit deadlifts at 395. Which was, even though that was still challenging, it was a lot easier than I think last week. I believe I did 465 for 8, which was very, very tough. So that was a nice deload, but still get some good work. And then I did 2 sets of 16 reps with 315 pounds on the front squat. Using the front squat harness, we did the belt squat good morning, which has been a very It's an unconventional exercise, but I feel like it's really been helping me out a lot. It's going to be my preferred good morning variation, and we're going to keep these in for the rest of the cycle because I really feel like it's been helping my lower back strength. So the reason I did 16 reps is I just did 8 reps sumo stance and then 8 reps conventional. And since I'm going to be doing a lot more sumo work, I'm going to be doing a lot more specific sumo work moving forward. My belt squat good mornings will probably remain conventional moving forward just because I'm not going to be doing as much conventional work. I'm probably going to get my lower back work from the good mornings. So just to kind of switch some things up a little bit and just make sure I'm still getting some lower back work, but I do need to kind of bring my hips up to par. If you looked at some of my deadlift videos from last week, my deadlifts are getting very strong. I'm able to power through the lockout, but my hips are shooting up and I'm not really able to hold the position in the bottom. So my lower back strength has improved a lot, but my hip strength, you can see, is lacking, and it's kind of affecting my position and my power off the floor. So getting my hip strength is going to be a big factor moving forward. Continuing to get my shoulder healthy, continuing to get my upper back stronger. It's going to help my bench, my squat, and my deadlift. And as my weight is getting smaller, one of the other things I'm going to have to play around with is my belt position. I've been feeling it's kind of actually, not that I'm that thin yet or that lean yet, but I'm starting to feel like my ribs are kind of hitting the belt in a weird way, and I just never felt like that before. So I'm just trying to figure out like what's going to be the best position for the belt. So my leverages are still changing. So it's a constant fight to figure those little things out. But I'm enjoying the challenge. On the nutrition front, the biggest change I might have mentioned last week a little bit is it's incorporating some fasting, some intermittent fasting, and some I would just consider true fasting. So I'm doing 1 24-hour fast a week. I've been listening to some the Snake Diet Wizard. So I don't want to say too much on the fasting because I don't want people to stop eating, but it's still early to say, but my weight has been dropping and it's been helping. So that 1 24-hour fast a week, I've been stopping my food around 12 o'clock on Friday, and I've been fasting from 12 on Friday till 12 p.m. on Saturday, and that's been working well. I've been doing that for a couple weeks now. And then I've been just closing down my feeding window a little bit. So I've been cutting off my food anywhere from between 1 and 3 o'clock on most days, and that seems to be helping. At the end of the day, it comes down to calories in, calories out, but by restricting my feeding window a little bit, it's allowing me to be more adherent to the diet, and it's been helping. So I'm going to continue with the fasting moving forward. After the meet, I might experiment with some more extreme fasting, maybe something 48 hours, 72 hours, who knows. But I think there's something to this fasting thing, so I'll kind of give some more thoughts as we kind of continue through. I'm not going to be... The one thing that I definitely, on my fasting day, I don't do anything strenuous besides walking or light yoga. So don't try to fast and then squat 800 pounds, please. Just disclaimer there. But I just want to kind of mention, I just want to be truthful and honest about what I'm doing. And everything else has kind of been the same as far as my eating and everything else. I haven't really dropped any more calories or anything like that. But the fasting has been a huge difference, and it seems to be helping. So whether that just happened, maybe the diet kind of kicked on, and I happened to start fasting at the same time, I don't know. But I definitely noticed a difference in my leanness. I'm starting to see a little bit more definition in my midsection and just definition in my body in general. So I'm excited. I think I'm well on my way to hit some big goals this cycle. Kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm starting to feel really motivated. I had some great workouts with the team this past Sunday especially. It was really amazing to see the team come together. A lot of squat PRs, a lot of people helping each other. It was really cool. So I'm excited. Road to 198 is almost there. It's been a multi-year process, and if I could reiterate anything, it's just, guys, just take things one day at a time. It's a thing that takes a long time. I started really focusing on weight loss in 2016, and it's really been a struggle. And it's a fight every single day, but it's worth it if you guys stick to it. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please subscribe. If you want to support the program, you can buy a book and give us a 5-star review on Google, on Facebook, on iTunes. All that helps. It helps spread the message of strength, and it helps us keep the lights on. So check out the links below if you want to help us out. And thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.